Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. Season's greetings, Merry Christmas, if you like. Happy upcoming new Gregorian calendar New Year. Hope you've had some valuable time with friends, family, relatives, rather than worrying about what people are trying to get you to worry about on social media and in the mainstream media. Hello, chilling. Hello, truthers. Yes, right on. It's very nice to know that you have friends that are truthers rather than liars and intellectually dishonest globers. Had an experience today, just over a few days actually. Twitter's turning into X is a nightmare. And I've noticed that people will post flat Earth content or anti-flat Earth content. You reply to it, and then you get these OnlyFans accounts liking your stuff and things like that. Hello, Zoo Scott. Yes, fairly well, thank you very much. Yeah, have had a great few days. Rest and recuperation. I hope it's been good for you as well, despite the groggy weather over there in the UK. Lamel forever. Hello there. You seem like a new one. Haven't seen you before, I don't think. Sorry if I've missed you in the past, but welcome. Thanks for coming along. Flat Earth Bear, Mr. Nick, greetings from Communist Republic of All right. Yeah, where you can get busted for jaywalking, yeah? Oh, yeah. It's funny, actually, when I saw a photo the other day of just, someone taking a photo down on an intersection in Bangkok, yeah? So there's motorbikes waiting at the intersection. There's a couple of cops on a motorbike at the intersection. There's 3 teenagers on a bike, probably all underage, not a helmet among them, and just all sorts of other stuff going on where, just one single photo of an intersection in Bangkok, you could see like dozens of laws being broken. Chris Hayes, hello. Oh, you retracted your message. Okay. Welcome. Good day. Okay. I probably would have understood it if you'd said something else, and that's all right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it's just it's so funny. I really wanted to discuss how it's quite funny, isn't it? It's hilarious, really. The people trying to control the narrative, and how truthers are completely immune to all of that. There they are with their false dichotomies, and it's like, giving you these illusions of choice and insisting on you choosing one thing over another. And this is this is what we know is just, it doesn't work on us. Are you wiping your phone, Chris? Okay. Yeah. This is it. They really don't understand where we're coming from. They think that by setting up something and telling you, it's like, I'll bet that 99.9% of flat earthers, probably all, did not fall for the convid narrative. We could see it all playing out from start to finish. Yeah, there might have been a bit of worry at first, but what we found most worrying was how the believers reacted. How they took the narrative. The narrative was fed to them through the mainstream media, through the politicians, through the corporations, through the military industrial complex or the pharmaceutical industrial complex. And they just went for it. They fell for it hook, line and sinker, and all of a sudden you had just the general public doing their job. And it's no different to North Korea and places like that, where, they are all completely controlled by a narrative. But this is it. We're immune to it. We've been through all that. We've broken free from that. So it's so funny. It's so funny seeing people like Duffy desperately trying to control the narrative and think they've changed people's mind about the Earth being measurably level, not a globe. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah, it's good to be among truthers and good to have you here. Flat Earth Sovereign, another false dichotomy. It is real. Is it real or green screen? Yeah, I couldn't care less. I don't see why people are worried about this, I mean, I don't see a problem with it. It's like, yeah, I mean, did all that with, looked into NASA footage and this and that and Mars rover footage and the Tesla in space footage. Oh, but this is it. I mean, that you're right. It's just like, that's a false trail as well. Why? I don't know. I mean, I don't see that it makes any difference. That if they went there and saw a sun. Yeah. Actually, one of the arguments is, the sun will never set on a flat Earth. Well, there you go. But you just got to look. You look at, this is it. Once you're awake to this, once you have lifted the veil, you see the sun for what it is. You see that it moves and the Earth doesn't. Why the heck should the Earth be moving? Why? There is absolutely no reason to assume that the Earth is moving. None whatsoever. There's no reason to assume it's good. You look at the sky. I mean, people talk about the celestial sphere. Where's that then? Where's this celestial sphere? When you look up, do you see a sphere? You just see stars above you. It's like a blanket. It's like a flat screen, Yeah. I've been talking to a friend, Leon, recently, and and this is all, FPV Angel as well. The interesting thing about FPV Angel stuff is that you're talking about what's going on in the sky being powered or energized by what's being emitted from the Earth. And that makes sense. We've got magnetism and this and that, all sorts of energies and frequencies. Yeah. And so why shouldn't all this be going on in the sky? Okay, because of the energy or something from the Earth. Yeah. And it's interesting. I think what the psychological thing about space, if you think about this, right? Space is like supposed to be this empty vacuum, nothingness, right? And if you think about it, a lot of us, especially as we grow older, and you get all sorts of stuff going on in our minds, what we'd love is peace and quiet. And so I think I got this theory that the whole space thing, although it's kind of like nothingness and there's a certain awe to it, I think what it is this looking outwards for this, to this place, right, that we really desire, where there will be no sound, there'll be nothing, there'll be, and that's kind of like, that's escapism. It's escaping from, now it's a mistake to say escape from the real world, because, yeah, it's like, well, the real world is all open to interpretation, and it really depends how you deal with it, yeah? We're all faced with daily challenges, daily upsets. Things go wrong all the time. Sod's law, yeah, is probably a scientific fact. But that's the thing. This all depends on your inner peace, right? This all depends, so, we're all looking for inner peace because we are so burdened and distracted and bamboozled by all this stuff. It stresses us out. You look at any kind of media. Yeah, you start getting into discussions or conversations or arguments and stuff with people that got different points of view, and a lot of the time they just want to wear you down. They're not interested in discussing the truth or getting to the root of the matter. They don't want peace. A lot of people thrive on disruption, chaos. Yeah. So I think, yeah, this idea of space and going to other planets, even if it's like a barren planet like Mars or something like that, it's basically, let's get away from the problems we have here. Yeah, let's go 1,000,000 miles away and get away from it all. That's what the attraction of space, I think, is. So, of course, when you start to tell someone that, well, space is physically impossible, it can't exist, yeah, then, you know, I'm just going to change the chat. Okay. Oh, I missed a few chats there. Flat Earth Bear, we as those seeking the truth are well vaxxed by experience against the status quo and the rhetoric attached. Yeah, nicely said, man. This is it. Yeah, this is it. You know, so don't get pulled into this stupid rhetoric because they're just it's on a completely different level. You beyond that. You are way beyond all that. All of you. Yeah, and it's just pomp. They're just, you know, these guys telling you the flat Earth is dead. You know, we've proven something. No, they haven't. They've just proven that they daren't do any real science, any real thinking, any real investigation into the true dimensions of the Earth. Yeah, but you know, I didn't want to dwell on that. I wanted to talk about the awakening in general, and how flat Earth is often a step. It feels like a final step at first, but it's not really a final step in an awakening process. But it is a stark realization. What's that, Chilling? Like the Mr. Boom song. Use your imagination, jump over the moon, and say goodbye to me. I don't know that one, but okay, I'll look it up. Thank you. Yeah. So it's good to see Mr. Cheswick is getting a few more views these days for his efforts. I love it. And that's the thing, all these guys are doing is giving us great material, and they're helping promote flat Earth. They're helping real people that are curious and are intellectually honest. I don't mind if people see the ridiculous arguments that Globers come up with. Then it's just baiting, and they've got nothing to really, nothing of value, nothing adult to say, nothing intelligent. Yeah. So yeah, there's a couple of things I wanted to look at, which we'll do in a second. A couple of vids and things like that. But yeah. Think about the site. Hello, Josh Corey. Good to see you. Hello, Luke. All right, my man. Damn, I lost my page. I'll tell you what. Let's kind of go straight into it. I was going to have a look at this video. Give me a second. I've got to delete this. Now this is just something came up. I didn't know about this thing, but think about this mineral, if that's what it is. It's called what's it called? No, it's Ulexite. Okay, have you ever heard of Ulexite? I just found out about this. I'm sure a lot of you probably already know about it, but just have a listen to this video or a watch. Yeah, it's this rock type material that basically it's not transparent, but it works like fiber optics, and it takes the image from one side through to the other side. Yeah. Now think of this in terms of a firmament. There are places in the world where this is quite common. But what if there's something in the sky keeping us in a pressurized environment that is like that? Yeah? Okay, just go and check it out yourself, Ulexite. Yeah? So I found that really interesting, yeah? Let's have one more look, yeah? So it's not transparent, but it takes the image from one side, and of course you can cut it up and this and that, but it's got these kind of fiber optic things in it, yeah? So what if we're seeing stars, planets, moons, suns through something like Ulexite in a firmament? It's not a claim, it's just a wondering, yeah? Is that something that's possibly going on? Yeah, isn't that cool? This is a natural material, yeah? And this is it. You know, we're living in this intelligently designed place, and that's another thing that the normies would love to get away from. Yeah, they don't want to accept that. It frightens them. It's frightening, isn't it? Yeah. So let's go back. Let's just get rid of that. Okay. Back on there. Yeah. Interesting, eh? So Ulexite, Ulexite. If you want to go and check out some Wikipedia posts or something like that. Yeah. So food for thought, hey? Now there was something else I wanted to look at. Now I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, that's right. Wasn't that one? This one. Okay, let's just get rid of that. Oh, interesting thought there, Josh. I wonder what it would look like with a light source inside. Wow, yeah. Didn't think of it like that. Who knows, man? Yeah, who knows? Yeah. But, you know, you've all experienced it. You've all experienced it where, you know, you got to remember that the globies are totally fixated on every single explanation that goes for their model, yeah? So they cannot think beyond spinning balls. You know, and they'll insist that a horizon is curvature. Now, in my mind, you know, globers would have a lot more credibility if they could admit that horizons are not curvature. Yeah, Flat Earth Bear, nice one, isn't it? Yeah, it's great, isn't it? This is it, something I just found out very recently. It just popped up on my X feed, so yeah. Oh, Chris, what's that? I have a candle holder that is similar. You put a tea light candle. Oh, right, okay, yeah. Oh, it's like Salt Rock does something kind of similar. I mean, you can at least make it glow and stuff like that. Yeah, that's another product I've thought of making from here. Okay, interesting. Interesting, Chris. Yeah. Yeah, you know, so like horizons. So, you know, I think, you know, flat earthers probably wouldn't exist if the globies weren't so insistent on things like horizons being curvature, which is so easily debunked. Like today, someone showed me a picture, you know, the usual picture of the windmills, zoomed in on windmills on the sea miles and miles away, and then of course it appears to be cut off. And, you know, explain this then. That's curvature. And it's like, no, you just ask them, what happens to the horizon if you gain height from where you were? And we all know from our own personal experience, and this is something you can prove for yourself, anyone can prove anywhere, you gain height, and that horizon that was cutting things off no longer cuts things off and actually goes above and beyond the things that you were looking at that were cut off. This simple observation totally debunks any idea that horizons are curvature. But they insist on it because it's part of the narrative. And they will not let go of that. Now, like I said, if people had been prepared to let go of that when just it's pointed out to them and they can go and test it for themselves, instead of going and taking shots of horizons and getting it all blurry and making sure it does get cut off and saying, that's curvature, that is. You know, instead of actually doing it, like, you know, the variable is your height. Well, okay, go higher. Test it by going higher and see what happens to the horizon. No, they're not going to do that. Yeah. So this is it. You know, they are their own worst enemies. They just prove themselves to be intellectually dishonest, biased, bigoted, and unable to process new information. What a sad state to be in. How terribly sad, yeah? Yeah. And we know that, you know, we know that people push beliefs. We know that there are conspiracies all over the place to make you buy things, to make you like things, to make you think things are cool, yeah, to make you imagine things that aren't real, yeah. But worse than that are the believers, because that, like, you know, just like the Rona, the Convid, you know, it was the believers that became the police force, yeah. And all these guys want to do that are defending their globe and they're talking trash about flat Earth without ever coming up with a measurement, is they want to get people back into their cult. That's their mission. Look at Will Duffy's latest video and all the bullshit. It's like trying to say that, oh, we got people back on our side now. And you go and look at these accounts that are saying, oh yeah, I was a flatty. Well, I would never call myself a flatty or a flurf anyway, yeah. So that's an instant giveaway that they're talking shite. And you go and look at their channel and they got nothing about flat Earth, nothing about anything else, nothing about sea. They're all troll. They're all just like BS accounts. Yeah. They're all just playing a role in this theatrics, this narrative. And it's so funny to see. It just shows so much desperation. Yeah. Come back to our cult. Please don't leave our cult. Oh dear, it's hilarious. Oh man. Lev Kung Fu, hello. One man, hello there. We are at the end of days, time to wake up. Yeah. Well, there's always a lot going on. And I think, you know, this place, this is it about this place, right? I mean, we're actually quite privileged to be able to sit here and talk about this quite comfortably in our rooms and things like that, you know, and philosophize and debate about this and that, whereas, you know, a lot of people don't have that luxury, yeah? And, you know, this argument about that you get about a benevolent God, because obviously we're taught that God is benevolent, but then people look around and they see reality for what it is. And there's a lot of suffering going on, you know, whether it's animals. Oh, have you seen that thing, that clip with the ants? There's this clip with a top-down view of ants kind of maneuvering this T-shaped thing. It's like a T-shape, but it's got a small bit on the other end as well through these two doorways. And it's amazing because a group of ants actually maneuver this thing very effectively. They kind of make a few mistakes. It's trial and error, but they eventually get this T-shaped thing through these two doorways. And then at the same time, there's a video of a group of humans trying to do the same thing. The ants beat the humans. Yeah. And this is the thing, you know, when you think back to when you were a kid or something. I remember burning ants with a magnifying glass. Yeah. And I feel really bad about it now. You know, and, you know, this is the kind of thing that when you realize we're in a place where we are not the only sentient beings. All the animals are sentient. All the plants are sentient. Yeah, and they have feelings, and they can possibly dream. Yet, hi Music Realm. You remind me, I'm going to play some music in a minute as well. Yeah. So, once you realise that you've done harm to other creatures, other sentient beings on this earth, you can feel guilty, right? So this realisation that we are in this place where there is suffering, and we can be the instrument of suffering, on putting suffering upon others, it can be really quite disturbing to have that realization. And I think that innate fear is there. It's deep inside, so as soon as you get near to talking about intelligent design, creation, let's not forget that the Big Bang Theory, heliocentrism, is all about taking Earth away from the center of the universe, and being a place that was intelligently designed. It's supposed to be just all a random nothingness, and consciousness came later. It's totally opposite to how it actually is. So once you try to get people away from that cult mentality, it's very, very frightening, because you do realize that you're responsible for your own actions. You're responsible for the pain you've inflicted on others and the suffering you've inflicted on others. And the thing is, you can't help it. There's nothing you can do about it. What's gone, what's been and done is done. Hello, David. I loved your one just now. Good stuff there. Oh, you're live streaming. Okay. I noticed you were. I thought you started a few hours ago. I thought your stream had finished, so I was waiting for you to finish before I started up. So apologies there if we're overlapping. Because hello, Astral Soul. Good to see you, man. How's your Astral Soul? Go and check him out. Subscribe to Astral Soul and see someone living it. Yeah. One man. Are you asking me if I'm still in DK, or did you mean BK? I'm in Phuket. What's that? Firmamental. Lack of parallax with McKeegan 360 footage was because he... okay. Whatever. Yeah, I'm not fussed. It's like, okay, I'm happy. 24-hour sun, great. Okay, fine. Great, move on. It doesn't change anything. Only those guys are the ones investing all this money trying to prove something that, of course, they didn't have to invite flat earthers. Yeah? The only reason they took flat earthers along was because they needed them, because it was all part of their plan to destroy flat earth. Yeah? Andres, hello. Living in a tent at the moment. Costa Blanca. Yeah, it's good. Nice one, man. Okay. All right. Okay, let's just have I've got this thing on the board. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I was going to make a proper video with an actual video camera, because my webcam's not so clear. But it's worth addressing this issue. So let's just have a look at this is a video by Dave McKeegan. It's pre-TFE. Yeah, but it's a good example of how they totally misunderstand the perspective model of flat Earth. Yeah. So let's just have a look at that.
So the hill would then measure lower than it really is. Hence, you then have to take the curvature into account with your calculations.
All right. So just, hang on. Let's make sure. Okay. So yeah, that's, we all know that perspective is the imaginary curve. They're basically, they convert angular size differences, this apparent shrinkage, into Earth curve. Yeah. This is totally ridiculous. And, when you point it out, they refuse to see it. But the next point is what I wanted to focus on.
It's the same basic problem as when flat earthers are asked how high is the sun or the moon based on their elevation angles. It should be very easy to work out with basic trig. But
okay, this is the big mistake. Yeah? They ask you how high is the sun? And I will, okay, well, how high is this? Where's the sun in the the heliocentric model? Based on what? Based on measurements? No. Anyone been there? No. Anyone touched it? No. Have you measured it? No. So then they throw it to the flat earthers. They come up with this map. And I suppose what he's representing here is Polaris, actually, rather than the sun. And then using trigonometry. Where in flat earth is trigonometry used? You know, this is it. They dream up this thing. And he's got this two-dimensional orthographic view from an observation. Yeah, this is the thing that is really, really simple to understand. That when we make observations of a star or the sun, the gap between the horizon and the sun or the star depends on how far we are away, because obviously the further away you get, the smaller the gap appears. It's still the same height, yeah, until you eventually get closer and closer until you're, you know, it's above you, you're above that ground point, yeah. So when they convert these observations from our three-dimensional perspective into this two-dimensional orthographic view, which we do not have, yeah, very, very simply put, what they're doing is they're using, you can see that they're using fixed length. So we know that with trigonometry, yeah, you can have an angle and you can have your length of a side. You've got a right angle, you want to work out the length of this vertical side, and you can do that. If you know the angle, you can work out the hypotenuse. You square a plus b, a squared plus b squared gives you c squared, right? You do that, the Pythagorean theorem, blah, 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 yeah? And so you can start off with an angle, and you can start off with a distance. So we know that, for example, the latitudes are based on the angle that Polaris is seen, say, from wherever you are, your latitude, yeah? So your latitude 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever, okay? Goes down to 0 at the equator, right? But the thing is again, you know, this perspective view where we see apparent height. You know, I've argued for ages with these people, just trying to get people to discern between an observation, which you can't measure. You know, you ask someone, they say, oh, an observation's a measurement. No, it's not. No, it's not. You ask someone, okay, well, how high is that mountain based on an observation? Tell me how high it is. You can't tell you, but then I'll go and look it up in Google. Oh, it's you know, whatever, 4,000 meters high. We didn't get that from an observation. You got that from someone that actually went out and tried to measure it and then recorded it, yeah? So the funny thing is that basically trigonometry is not used in any kind of navigation or anything like that. So again, it's totally false for Dave McKeegan here to bring in trigonometry, yeah? And it just shows they're either making shit up, yeah? They're deliberately creating obfuscation, or haven't got a bloody clue what they're on about. One of those three. Yeah. So when you're drawing, so although you can use trigonometry and work out the lengths of sides and the angles, yeah, based on the information you do or don't have, yeah, that's not what we're seeing, is it? You know, he's applied an angle of elevation seen because of perspective in a tiny, our eyes, yeah, and then converted this into this two-dimensional orthographic view. Is totally wrong, yeah, totally wrong. So let's just, so, I'll just go back to that.
But it doesn't work unless you include...
Right. You said it doesn't work unless you include the curvature of the Earth. Yeah, well, like I've always been saying, perspective is the imaginary curve. So all of a sudden you've gone to geometry. It's not trigonometry anymore, it's geometry, right? And as we all know, you start off with a horizontal level surface. You measure your angle either up or down from 90, yeah? And that gives you your angle. But it doesn't tell, this is it. It's not trigonometry. It's just the angles and the distance. There are no triangles. Yeah? So it's ridiculous. Let me Let me drop that a minute. And just make this one bigger. I wonder if you can see this. Yeah, one man, show me the curve and I will put it into your dervings. Auto hoax, hello. If they can't dazzle with their brilliance, they revert to baffling. Yes. Exactly. Good. Well put, Oxbow Spirit. Nicely said. You cannot obtain the height of celestial luminaries with terrestrial maths. You know, yeah, they come back with you. Well, how high is the sun based on this erroneous, you know, use of maths? Yeah. So, like I said, I was going to try and do this as, let me try and get this line, that way. Yeah. So I just kind of, just to illustrate the point, like, you can see here these lines going up. You know, when you look up, when you look at an object far, far away, well, this gap, this illustrated, it's made up of uniform units, right? I could put a ruler here and measure it as maybe, I don't know, 20 centimeters or something like that, yeah? That has a uniform unit of measurement. But when you're thinking of perspective, the observer's angle, what happens as things get higher and higher? Well, they get squashed and squashed and squashed and squashed. So this isn't uniform. These, you know, it gets smaller. You've got the same distance being covered, getting smaller and smaller and smaller, more uncompressed, yeah? Because just how you know, when you look across a level surface, you can see detail up close, and you've got large space, and then the further you see, the more and more compressed it gets, yeah? Well, the same thing happens when you look up at a distance, yeah? I mean, I did a video the other day showing those, how, you know, you look up at a tower block, and, you know, the windows get more and more and more and more compressed, yeah, as you look up. Well, that's what's happening, yeah? So it's not a fixed height. You can't use bloody trigonometry like this to illustrate compression that's seen because of perspective, can you? Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. And the same for here. You know, although you get an angle, a latitude angle, and then that gives you a distance, you know, 60 nautical miles per degree. Yeah, so you multiply your degrees by 60 to get your distance. That doesn't automatically create a triangle. Yeah, but that's what they do. They see triangles and they wanna mathematicize it. What's that? YouTube? Oh, hello. You're just saying hi. All right. Yeah. Auto hoax. Their use of trigonometry on a circle doesn't play very well with me when Neil deGrasse Tyson tells us the Earth is an oblate spheroid shaped like a pear. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm just going back. The Oxbow Spirit, the angle to a celestial luminary does not change with altitude. Okay. I'm just going back. Who else is in? George, hello. Tommy Rogers, hello. Sorry, I missed your chat earlier. I was on one. Music Realm. Ah, right, Music Realm. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. You feel free to kind of like, challenge me on this, but that's the way I see it. It's like the moment they start trying to use trigonometry in an orthographic view, it's just totally wrong. It's just again. Donald, hello. Also, isn't the limit of our eyes to see depth of field more limited than most would think? Yeah, it's very limited. And again, it's all, it depends what's in your field of view, right? I mean, if you're in the city and you're surrounded by all these things, city blocks and things like that, your perspective, your point of view is going to be different to if you're looking across a vast ocean or a wide canyon, isn't it? It's all absolutely. And again, you just study. It's so funny because it's kind of a part of the book I'm writing. I'm obviously a lot of focus on horizons. And that's the thing, isn't it? We don't, when you're watching a movie, you're not sitting there thinking about how the signal is being converted into the screen and how it's all working. You're just engrossed in the story for the most part, right? That's what happens, yeah? And it's the same with real life. We look around and we can touch things, and we don't even really think about how our eyes are actually working and how everything's being processed, yeah? But when you do, when you start, that's a step. This is a step towards the awakening, isn't it? Because you start to observe yourself. And that's the thing with the globies and the normies. They haven't even got to that first step. They're years behind. Decades, centuries. They're just lost. They have no idea. They have got no no awareness of what's actually going on in the eyes and in the mind. Oblivious. And we know that is obviously, this is big. That's, when you're brainwashed, you don't know it. Yeah. That's a good one, Donald. They try using trigonometry because they are triggered. Tom Busby. A god that interacts with everything he made is like a person helping the struggling butterfly, because the pain and suffering, it isn't the pain and suffering that makes us who we are. It is, isn't, or is? Well, yeah. Yeah, that's I was kind of maybe got lost on that point about when you're talking about the God, the benevolent God. If you just think about it the other way around, this place is intelligently designed, not necessarily by a benevolent God, but it's a place where we're going to experience suffering and we're going to experience karma. Now, I've no idea whether karma gets carried over into another life. I'd like to give it another go because I'd like to get it right. I've got it, I think I've got it wrong, but at least now in this life have insight into how to get it right. That's a worrying thought as well. Do we only have this lifetime? Yeah. I remember when I first started working, it was Sun Life Assurance. I got that first job after leaving school, got suited up, got on the bus into Bristol, to go and work at this corporation I had no idea about. It was a pensions thing. No idea. It wasn't anything to do with anything I'd ever, but somehow got the job because I, spoke nicely and had a suit. But I remember the people that I was working with telling me that there was one girl that had worked there before that she just ended up stuffing all these jobs that she had to do. She just kind of ended up hiding them behind her desk, just stuffing them down this gap in the desk, just put the problem away, not deal with it. And that's what you see with the globies and the normies. So all of you truth seekers, give yourselves a pat on the back because you faced your fears. You're different. You're a different breed. You're different to these deniers. You're different to these excusers. You're different to these people full of fear and trying to put the blame on you for helping them wake up. That's the thing. You could handle it. You were prepared to improve yourself. You were prepared to face the challenges. Yeah? And you'll see that a lot of people in life they don't want to. They'll take the most comfortable option and they'll just ignore stuff. So this is it. This is why Flat Earth is so much more than just bloody models. It actually has nothing to do with models at all. Only the globe buggers are fixated on models. Yeah? We're beyond all that. We know that this place is designed for us to have this experience and have suffering and face challenges and overcome them. You look back at your life. You look at what you have now. Look at the things you have now. How many of those things that you have now were things that you only once dreamt about? Maybe you have a house. Maybe you have a family, a lovely wife or a partner. Yeah. You have a car. You have a bike. Yeah. You didn't have those things before. You manifested those things. You made them happen. Yeah. That's the crazy magical thing about this place. We are creators. We can create our own misery. We can create our own happiness. Yeah. That's what this is all about. Yeah. But it's scary. It's really scary. What's that, Thomas? You are written in Isaiah 40:53, made to declare God's glory, to declare the former things. Enoch 93:10. Creation is revealed to the elect. Excuse me, I need some. Hang on a sec. Water. The water in Phuket. I get desalinated water. We get it delivered in these big tubs. Stick it in the bottles in the fridge. You know, the funny thing about going up country, the first time I went up country into, you know, the kind of Isan, you know, the countryside in Thailand, and then in someone's house, they might have a fridge. There might be about the only electrical appliance they have, a fridge. And you think, oh, great. And there might be some milk or butter or cheese in there. You open it up and it's just full of water. Yeah. But that's the thing. That's what the Thais have taught me, that, you know, sometimes you'll say hello to a Thai and they give you this wonderful beaming smile. And it's really all about enjoying the moment, you know, like I was talking about earlier, when you see these laws being broken, it's like, well, yeah, you realize just how controlled we are in the West. Oh, yeah, Thomas, Phuket looks beautiful. Yeah, it is a very beautiful place, yeah. It's tropical paradise, yeah. I've actually got a tattoo, the only tattoo I have, it's like a desert island. It's a sunset scene with palm trees, yeah. I got that when I was about 18. And that was just, back then I was thinking, that's where I want to be. And then I made it to Thailand, you know, came here 30 years ago now. I had no plans apart from I would teach. But that didn't turn out to be anything very easy at all, yeah. It's crazy, you know, but think back to all the craziness I went through. I'm lucky to be alive after some of the nutty things that I got into in Bangkok. So I was in Bangkok for about 10 years. But yeah, it's like, yeah, and sometimes, you know, obviously life's stressful, you know, got to worry about visas. It's never easy I don't have a regular income because I can't, it's not like you don't get a green card and you don't get any special privileges when you're married or whatever, even with kids. Yeah, it's still very challenging. But I'm here. Then I look around me, I think, wow, I'm here, you know. Got my family. I've got a car. Got a place to live. Got food. Yeah. And you go out and you meet smiley, happy people. You know, you go to the market. It's brilliant going to the market. I mean, you know, there's like hundreds of stalls all selling their own different stuff. It's a fantastic way to live. You know, but it's all up to us, man. It's all up to us. Yeah. People are always trying to control the narrative. Always trying to control the narrative. Why? Why would someone want to control the narrative? Why would someone want to control what you think, what you believe? You've got to think about that. The flat earther, or in general, will say, do your research, reach your own conclusions, and you're free to philosophize and imagine it whatever you like. Yeah? The possibilities are endless. Where a glober says, no, you've got to believe that it's like this and it's like that. Not because anyone did a measurement, not because of science, but because of a belief. Yeah? And yeah, you know, this is it. I mean, like I said, going back to the whole COVID thing. Yeah. Actually, it's interesting. There's a YouTuber that I had been following for a while called Sanity for Sweden. Oh, hang on, I got to take a phone call. Just a minute. สวัสดีครับคุณเจนครับอ๋อได้กี่วันนะ ครับอ่าฮะอ๋อครับเดี๋ยวนะอ่าฮะถึงวันที่เท่าไหร่นะอ๋ออ๋อครับอ๋อโอเคคือวันนี้ตั้งแต่วันนี้ก็วันนี้กับพรุ่งนี้นะโอเคครับห้องสี่ครับอ๋ออ๋ออ๋อวันโอเคได้โอเคได้ครับเดี๋ยวจัดการนะครับไม่เป็นไรครับโอเคครับผมโอเคครับokay yeah I got to take care because I look after websites and I've got to take care of my one of my clients' websites. I've got to take care of some bookings. I've got to book a room. So yeah, wasn't expecting to have to deal with that. I mean, I could do it while we're talking, but then that would just be a bit time consuming. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. If you can hang on, chat amongst yourselves because I don't want to stop the stream. It's nice. I mean, it's good. So I can actually, if you give me a few minutes while I do this, do you mind? Yeah, hang in there. Yeah, okay. So it's just a very quick thing where I've got to do a manual booking. Yeah, Andres, good old time flatties. Yeah, hello Natalie. What does MTF mean? Oh, that's someone else. No, Thai's not easy because it's tonal and it's totally backwards. Well, not backwards, but it's like adjectives and verbs are the other way around. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm just kind of doing this as we talk. So yeah. But it's fantastic language. It's actually based in Sanskrit, so it's got some very very old. Sanskrit's apparently the oldest language. Yeah, so it's interesting because like there are words like Trai. Trai means three, and they talk about the three worlds. Yeah, and. And so yeah, tri also means three, right? Triangle. Ah shit. Ah, I can't. No. Damn. Okay, gonna have a problem there. Oops. Sorry, this is no. Ah, okay, I messed up. Okay, I messed up. Sorry, trying to do this while. Okay, from today. Sorry, this is gonna. I'm nearly done. Nearly done, guys. Oh, what's going on? Okay. Having problems here because I can't select the dates. Okay. Oof. I'm struggling here to get this sorted because dates are overlapping. That's a bit crap. Okay, hang on. Let me just get back to see what's going on there. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hang on there, guys. No. Okay. I might have to leave this and deal with this little issue I'm having. Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'm gonna have to log off for a second, okay, and then deal with this, and then maybe get back to it. We'll see. Get back to the stream, but otherwise, hopefully that's been a nice catch up. Good to see you all here. Yeah, Thomas Morgan, good point. FE is just way bigger than they'd have you know. We're being suppressed. The numbers are being suppressed, but this is it. There's so much going on beyond all this nonsense. Yeah. Ignore these TFE guys. Yeah, they've shot their wad. They're done now. That's it. That's all they've got. They haven't got a measure of curvature. They're going to keep on trying to control the narrative. And the best thing to do with psychopaths is just cut them off, because that's all they are. Psychopaths trying to control your thoughts and your beliefs. Yeah. So. Yeah. Likewise, Auto Hoax took a while of proper investigation. It's yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna close this stream down, and I'll come back. Okay. And then when I got these things sorted, and then give you my undivided attention. Okay. So, cheers for now. I'll be back on later. Okay. Thanks a lot.